Hey y'all, I hope everyone's doing fantastic. I'm a little hoarse right now. I'm going through some throat chakra upgrades, so bear with me. But I had to give y'all an update on the rare upcoming hybrid solar eclipse in Aries taking place on April 20th. So I have some energies I have pulled, but first I'm going to read over the notes that I have written to get started. So this is the second new moon in Aries this year. Hey y'all, I hope everyone's doing fantastic. I'm a little hoarse right now. I'm going through some throat chakra upgrades, so bear with me. But I had to give y'all an update on the rare upcoming hybrid solar eclipse in Aries taking place on April 20th. So I have some energies I have pulled, but first I'm going to read over the notes that I have written to get started. So this is the second new moon in Aries this year. The first one took place in March at 0 degrees in Aries, and this one will be taking place at 29 degrees in Aries. Now, the 29th degree of any zodiac sign is considered a highly charged karmic point. It's also considered a point of the highest consciousness, enabling us to integrate all lessons of that particular zodiac sign, which is Aries at this time, and operate Hey y'all, I hope everyone's doing fantastic. I'm a little hoarse right now. I'm going through some throat chakra upgrades, so bear with me. But I had to give y'all an update on the rare upcoming hybrid solar eclipse in Aries taking place on April 20th. So I have some energies I have pulled, but first I'm going to read over the notes that I have written to get started. So this is the second new moon in Aries this year. The first one took place in March at 0 degrees in Aries, and this one will be taking place at 29 degrees in Aries. Now, the 29th degree of any zodiac sign is considered a highly charged karmic point. It's also considered a point of the highest consciousness, enabling us to integrate all lessons of that particular zodiac sign, which is Aries at this time, and operate from its highest expression. Now, Aries at its highest expression invites confidence, courage, passion, and the right balance of leadership. When the 29th degree of a sign is activated, it's an indicator of completion and closure, which sometimes leads to situations getting to extremes, reaching their breaking points, their most exaggerated expression. There may be a feeling of urgency for closing out specific existing cycles and integrating those lessons learned before moving on to starting a brand new cycle. Now, hybrid solar eclipses are extremely rare. They occur as the moon passes between the earth and sun. The moon's shadow will fall on the earth, partially blocking the sun's rays, creating a beautiful ring of fire around the moon. A hybrid solar eclipse moves from a total eclipse into an annular eclipse. It's like a new moon on steroids. And it brings a strong suggestion and symbolism of a transition or shift between two worlds. So you may find yourself literally shifting from that in-between state of not quite fully being out of one world or timeline, but also not yet seeing evidence of yourself stepping into a brand new world or timeline. This would bring that change of that shift where you find yourself stepping into that new world you have been creating for yourself. So this Aries new moon solar eclipse is laying the foundation for a new pathway to emerge. A pathway with ripe and highly fertile and creative energy we can use to shape the next chapter and phase of our life's journey. There will be added power to set intentions, seek opportunities, take leaps of faith, and truly put ourselves out there in ways that allow our true authenticity to shine bright for all to see, which acts as a magnetic force attracting the right opportunities to flow straight towards us. Now, this event signifies new beginnings and also marks a final end to that which has already ended, allowing the opportunity for many to finally attain a feeling of true closure from previous heartbreaks that left them hanging dry without any type of closure. These solar eclipses also expose all things that have been hidden and not visible to us. There's a strong awareness of what we value, what we're devoted to, and what we are in service to, which comes with the invitation to align our choices with those very things. There's also the activation of Saturn in Pisces with this hybrid solar eclipse, which represents an invitation to come into contact with our spiritual element of commitment, dedication, and service, allowing these things to drive each of our choices and actions. Now, the fiery energy of Aries brings forth initiation, renewal, and creation with the solar eclipse. And this brings the message that without destruction, there is no space to create the new. There's no room for anything to grow. So ultimately, whatever crumbles down into ashes will offer fertile ground for us to plant new seeds of creation. There's an extremely potent energy of initiation and propelling us into a transitionary period. This solar eclipse in Aries is a great opportunity to connect with what we truly desire to create, as well as understand the world we desire to live in and experience to its fullest. That way we can begin taking the right action steps in those very directions. It's also a potent time for letting what's run its course fall away completely. Finally releasing what is meant to end, as well as everything that no longer holds meaning, and also all things that do not serve us, in order to create the necessary space for what is truly meant to blossom abundantly for us in our lives. With this hybrid solar eclipse in Aries, the inner child is coming out to play and explore. So be prepared to ignite your inner fire and embrace a season full of possibilities and opportunities. There's going to be many opportunities for huge breakthroughs within careers and intimate partnerships of all kinds. This is a powerful turning point that is enabling us to shed old patterns and beliefs that do not serve us, so that we may embrace brand new and greater visions that truly align us with our soul's true pathways. Now, matters related to personal plans, courage, independence, and self-assertion will be in strong focus. Expect new beginnings surrounding any of these kind of issues that will end up ushering in long-term changes for the better. Many people will gain courage and confidence needed to take powerful action steps towards self-mastery as well as self-empowerment by confronting things, situations, and relationships that undermine them. Circumstances will illuminate where we haven't been true to our authentic selves, with the acceptance of changes and or endings that are necessary for our own growth and evolution. Now, The zodiac sign Aries learns through experience as well as action. So we most definitely will feel pulled strongly towards adventure with this energy at play. This is a potent time to reevaluate our very relationship with ourselves in order to make important changes and open up to the abundance of new beginnings that are on offer for us. Also willing to take bigger risks and follow our hunches. We will also be discovering the benefits of expressing ourselves with complete authenticity and transparency, exactly as we are, without any masks. Revitalization is likely through experiences that involve breaking usual routines and doing something brand new and fresh. Now, the element Aries represents is that of fire, okay, which offers us a big boost within strength, courage, passion, and determination. So many will feel the fiery energy pushing them to stand up for themselves, also leaping into brand new territories, and finding the confidence that's needed to enter new doors opening up. This potent, fiery flame being activated within all of us will encourage us to keep our frequencies high and truly believe that all things are possible for us when we take full responsibility and accountability of our roles as co-creator, finally becoming the true leader of our very own lives. Some may find themselves pushed into a corner where they're called to defend one's position or possibly change their approach in a drastic or significant manner. It's really important to try not to fall into extreme power struggles that will only result in crises or cause extreme drama. So choose your battles wisely. Channel this fiery energy in a healthy and balanced manner. Some may need to activate their inner fire, and others may need to tone it down a little bit. So the hybrid new moon solar eclipse on April 20th begins the series of Aries Libra axis eclipse that will last until year 2025. Shortly after April 20th, we will have another eclipse, a full moon lunar eclipse taking place in Scorpio on May 5th. So this is a time where things are going to be speeding up very quickly. It's going to be a lot of strong energies that are also kind of contrasting. And I mean from moving from the solar eclipse in Aries into the full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio. It will be quite a difference in the energies that are experienced. So by the time you get to the full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio, you could feel a little bit out of sorts emotionally, not very balanced. But I am using this update for the Aries solar eclipse. I will post one for the lunar eclipse another day. Now, the eclipse taking place on the 20th will be directly correlated to the eclipse in October. You hear that beeping? That's confirmation. So, you're already feeling this energy most likely. This is a time where we're being pushed to get ourselves into energetic alignment, okay? By letting go of what's no longer aligned in order to create space for the new. This must happen in order for anything new to arrive. We must let go of what's taking up space and is no longer necessary and no longer serving us. Now, at this time, we are also going through major DNA upgrades and repairs. Now, our DNA structures store light, okay? They act as a radio coil as well as a biological internet. Your thoughts alone can instruct your very DNA structures. Okay, so transmissions can be sent into your DNA through simple thought projection. So keep that in mind. Allow that to inspire you to be more mindful and intentional with the thoughts that you are choosing to entertain, because you are directly impacting your very DNA structure, okay? As well as the DNA structures of others. Now, with aligning our energy in the right way, also comes with understanding our power to create our very own reality. Applying the wisdom we have gained in our daily practices, okay? So basically walking our talk. Through our thoughts, our words, and our actions. Making sure that our thoughts, words, and actions are in alignment with each other, not in opposition, okay? They're working in synergy towards the same goal in the same direction, okay? So keep in mind, your thoughts are also the words you speak. In order to speak anything out loud, you have to first have a thought, okay? Your thoughts and words become your actions. So that's where it's really bringing in that awareness of the importance of disciplining the thoughts we're choosing to entertain on a daily basis and the words we are speaking out loud, because they will become our actions. Before you get up and make a cup of coffee, you have to first have a thought to get up and go make a cup of coffee in order to do that, right? So let that be a symbolic example that is very easy to understand. Now also, when it comes to getting our energy in alignment, it's important that we focus on aligning our thoughts, words, actions, our feelings towards one intention at a time, okay? That is going to allow us the greatest success at being in complete alignment towards a specific goal or intention when we're focusing on one at a time. Because if we're focusing on 10 at a time, most likely your energy will be scattered and you will not have an easy time synergizing those elements of yourself to work together in the same direction because you're focusing in too many directions, okay? So simplify. This is also a time for karmic balance as well as karmic justice. There's unfinished business everyone is being asked to complete at this time with the solar eclipse. There are contracts that are ready to end completely. And whatever this contract that needs to end completely or cycle, whatever, however it resonates for you, you're seeing signs and synchronicities everywhere about this. Pay attention to those because they're alerting you to the forward movement you're needing to take, the action steps you're needing to take to close something out in order to experience forward movement. Because if you do not close these things out, there will be no forward movement. This unfinished business needs to be addressed. That way, you can be sure you're stepping onto the right path for your highest good. And also be proud, standing tall in conviction, knowing that in your heart of hearts, you know the truth of whatever situation you are co-creating. Whatever you are working towards, you know the truth of that situation in your heart, okay? So closing out this unfinished business, right, is going to allow you to come into those energies, which is going to bring forth major rewards because it's going to be you representing your willingness to learn and understand what is truly needed in order for you to anchor yourself on this path instead of kind of putting one foot in and keeping one foot out. Okay? You will be rewarded for your resilience and your perseverance. Now with the karmic justice, this has to do with setting stronger and firmer boundaries with others, okay? Sending all energies that do not belong to you, that belong to other people, past experiences, relationships, etc., out of your energy field, out of your mind, emotional body, and physical body, where it belongs for the highest, best good. Don't intend to send it, return to sender, whatever. Just ask that it be sent to wherever it belongs for the highest, best good at this time. Because you have to understand, not everyone is sending you like bad energy, trying to hurt you or curse you, etc. Oftentimes this is done unconsciously, and both parties are responsible for this because the energy that is exchanged is consented to by the other party absorbing that very energy, okay? Whether that be consciously, unconsciously, intentionally, unintentionally. or subconsciously, knowingly or unknowingly, okay? And sometimes it's not in the highest good to return energy back to somebody that could hurt them worse than you could imagine. So just be mindful of that. Okay, so with this karmic balance, this is the understanding that you are a powerful, positive energy generator. Meaning, you serve as an antenna that receives high frequencies that are meant to be fully anchored and grounded within not only your physical body, but the earth as well. Okay? That's doing your part. This is also all about reclaiming your power over drowning in other people's energies and being able to have space to welcome in these higher frequencies for you to be a conduit for, to anchor in for your benefit, and also anchor into the earth to benefit all. So this whole everything I've been talking about has to deal with getting your energy in alignment, right? So this is also requiring everyone to declutter their environments, okay? And by that, I mean, let go of fear, because fear simply is not real, and it only causes confusion, delays, and stagnation. Release all worry. Dissolve all doubt. Those are all lies, and you don't need to take the bait anymore. This is also, for some, relating to dropping the old stories once and for all, so you can finally begin to express your true desires only. Some of you haven't even began to express your true desires because you're so hyper-focused on telling the old, undesirable stories you claim to desperately want out of. That requires you to take your energy back from it, your power back from it, by paying it no attention. You fuel it every time you speak about it, dwell upon it, complain about it. You are asking to please be sent more of that same BS. This is also requiring many to finally forgive themselves and others. Many don't understand that they're simply not receiving their manifestations because there is no space in an energetic sense. Meaning past relationships, traumas, hurts, and experiences are still lingering in your etheric body and energy fields, right? Because they have not been fully resolved. There have been words on your part left unspoken that you never got to speak up for yourself about, or possibly emotions that were not fully processed. Just shoved down and repressed. So there could be a lot of disappointment under the surface, a lot of regret under the surface, a lot of resentment under the surface. self-punishment for past mistakes you have made, whatever it may be, you will know what is not yet resolved in your energy fields. Contracts that need to be fully ended. They maybe have ended physically, but energetically you're still tied to this person and the situation because you have not fully let it go. Okay? So this could look like you finally saying all the words you never got to say to an individual about how they made you feel. Speaking exactly what's on your mind and heart. Telling them exactly as it is in the ways you never did and you ultimately wish you would have at the time. And so you kind of just stuffed it down. Now, I'm not telling you to call this person you haven't talked to in years and then just go off on them. But do sit with yourself and speak these words out loud as if you were talking to them without intentions of that energy negatively impacting them or harming them. Just get it out. Speak it out loud, okay? Or write it and then burn the paper so you can release that energy, which frees up space for the new, okay? And once you're done releasing what needs to be said or what needs to be felt, etc., that's where the forgiveness part comes in and acceptance. You say out loud or write, I accept you for who you are fully. And you also say, I accept myself for who I was or am fully as well. I now forgive you and set you free, and I also forgive myself and set myself free. May all energetic debris be transmuted into pure, unconditional love, healing, prosperity, freedom, joy, and abundance. That's simply all you have to do. And some of you are driving yourself nuts, not understanding why something or someone is still like lingering around in your mind, in your dreams, or you're like seeing references to them, etc. It's because you haven't fully let them free from your energy. It's like you are holding their energy prisoner in your field, not really meaning to or choosing to do that purposely, but in an unconscious manner because you haven't taken the time to fully address the situation and make peace with it and with all involved. But that's literally all you have to do to set yourself free and create space, okay? And that will also greatly shift your perspectives and the way you show up in your present day connections and relationships, where that stuff that has not been dealt with is no longer fogging your vision or getting in the way of abundant connections and relationships that are harmonious and loving and authentic, as well as feeling a sense of peace and trust to even connect in these ways. You got to let that crap go before you're able to get to that space. Or else everything that you try to engage with is going to be temporary because you have no room for new energy to enter, especially an energy of a higher vibration than the stuff that you've repressed so far down and haven't dealt with. Let that go. Lighten your load. Let yourself off the hook. Let the other people off the hook. And if you know you're holding on to something and haven't been willing to let it go, holding on to anger and resentment does not hurt the other person. It only damages yourself in your own soul. It depletes you. It drains your life force energy. It causes you to struggle against your very own spirit. It causes suffering for you. So really, love and honor yourself enough to make amends. You don't have to re-enter that person's life. You don't have to speak to them. But you do need to sit with yourself and resolve this in a way where you're able to find your own sense of inner peace and freedom once again from whatever that may be. And so suddenly you have finished this business that has remained unfinished up until this point, and you're finally able to reclaim your power. Why? Because all the crappy, shitty energy is no longer bogging you down. So now you're actually able to start choosing what you love, doing and being love, doing things you love, being with people you love, being the love you want to receive in return. Actually, even knowing what to choose that represents love to you, because you haven't had that space to explore and understand what you truly choose to love and what doing and being the energy of love is, because you have disconnected yourself from it altogether. And so that's taking your power back, my friend, okay? Because now you're no longer in two minds sending out mixed signals. So you may want something, but because you haven't let go of unfinished business, it's polluting the new ideas or intentions you're trying to plant. The past is polluting the now, and you're going back and forth like you're on a seesaw or around in circles on a merry-go-round that never seems to stop. And that will continue until you let go of that past energy that has nothing to do with right now. Because when that stuff's still in your field, remember, your ego loves to play tricks on you to convince you to go into fight or flight mode, that things are not safe, because the ego is trying to protect you from you experiencing similar situations you did in the past that are still lingering in your field. Okay? And so when you let go of that and you reclaim your power, you're able to shift your focus, which is needed if you want your outer reality to change. Because outside of you simply cannot change until the inside of you begins to make and be that very change. You must be giving that energy, sending out those signals in order to receive it back. You have to be willing to give in order to receive. The more you give, the more you shall receive. And that goes the same for giving on the opposite end of the spectrum. So, taking yourself off that seesaw or merry-go-round, letting yourself free, being the very change you wish to see, allows you to shift your focus in such a way where you are clear in mind. You have clear discernment. You're aligned with truth, finally. And so, therefore, you're not easily falling into distractions every left and right turn you take because of that unresolved garbage that you're holding on to. You see distractions for what they are. You see straight through them, and you can avoid them And you choose to because you honor and love yourself enough to choose better for yourself, to not repeat those same pain and suffering, never-ending story timelines. Okay, so when you're able to shift your focus in a clear way, the cycle completes. And this is the divine masculine energy, okay? Which is all about being extremely clear and consistent with your intentions, okay? Clear in the mind in a committed way to where you are consistently honoring that, not only with words, but your actions as well. That's the true power of the divine masculine energy. If you do not honor your words or the intentions that you set, or you're unable to commit to yes or no, this way or that way, then you are in a wounded, distorted, masculine template. If you're unable to follow through and honor your word, you have masculine wounds that need to be addressed. You need to work on honoring your words and following through. Okay? And so when you're able to shift your focus in a crystal clear way, it makes it more easy for you to show up consistently towards your intentions, honoring your words, which allows you to be building momentum and potency towards that very intention you set, right? And through that repetition, eventually timelines will begin colliding and conversing, resulting in a complete timeline shift, because the two timelines you are fluctuating between will eventually collapse into a third timeline, which can also be called one brand new timeline. And the result of that timeline will be a more permanent experience. The frequency of it is dependent upon which of the two timelines you are fluctuating between you are feeding the most momentum and potency towards. Okay, so you want to be feeding, and whenever you're choosing something better for yourself, it is normal to fluctuate. You can't just change overnight. It takes practice, dedication, consistency, commitment. But it gets easier and easier as long as you're willing to put that effort in to actually try and keep trying and keep going. Eventually, it will become second nature to you and you won't have to think about it, okay? So don't give up on yourself too soon, because that's just a form of, I don't want to call it self-sabotage, but self-protection, because that's ultimately what self-sabotage is self-protection. So you're being asked to close this out so you can get crystal clear in your mind and that masculine energy to take that aligned action towards that thought, idea, intention consistently in order to bring things into fruition, in order to complete projects to full completion, in order to show up and honor promises and words you have given to others and to yourself. So, I already spoke about getting clear on what our values are. We've all been getting really clear on what we truly value. Not only out of life, but what we value about ourselves, what our core values are. And understanding our true worth. our true gifts, talents, and abilities that are of value and worthy of being shared with others, right? Finally, coming to the understanding that you're already worthy and ready right now for whatever it is you feel like you had to wait to be better for in order to receive or be qualified. You're ready right now. You're worthy right now. Believe it. If you believe it, you'll be able to see it. And if you are able to believe it and see it, then you will be able to receive it. And honoring your values consistently through repetition is what results in timelines inevitably manifesting into physical form, okay? Because you are honoring and stepping fully, committing to your authenticity, bare naked, transparent, honoring your values, not betraying your very values for the sake of others, sacrificing your needs for others. You're honoring yourself. You're respecting yourself. And walking fully through that authenticity, which allows you to birth a whole new world for yourself, because then you're integrating that energy. And you integrate that energy through being willing to give. Be your values. Give out the energy your values represent. Be that energy. And you will receive that energy in return. But also with the integration, it's all about your choices. Choices determine everything. Reality is chosen through your imagination. Choice begins with a simple thought or idea, okay? So making choices which lead to actions that are in alignment with your true values is what enables you to integrate and honor your true worth and values. Therefore, you've become the embodiment. You've committed to it by walking your talk. And since you made a finalized decision through clear vision and direction of these very values, and you've practiced and were consistent with it, you continue to show up and be consistent and honor that. Timelines are able to shift in such a way where those interchanges are now reflecting back to you outwardly in your material world. New beginnings are coming into fruition in the physical world as a direct reflection of the very shifts you committed to making within, honoring the authentic core values within you. No matter where you are, who's standing in front of you, no matter who says what about you, etc., you're honoring your truth and your values. That's what builds good karma. And to build good karma, and karma's not necessarily good or bad. We create karma every day. And that could be a positive experience or a negative experience. But to create a good positive karma experience, you want to keep up the momentum of inspiration by consistently making the effort to keep that inspiration alive with sparks of remembrance, right? We're also being pushed to remain receptive in such a way where we are granting ourselves and our spirit team permission. Well, first we're granting ourselves permission to open up to receive love, abundance, and support on all levels. And we're also allowing ourselves permission to expect quick and sudden shifts, unexpected miracles, unexpected windfalls, solutions that show up for us, major insights to come into our conscious awareness that seemingly change our situation altogether instantly. Many people are wondering where they're going wrong, and they're simply forgetting to give themselves permission to open up and receive the very love and support that they are craving and desiring to receive. Or they're not giving themselves permission to even ask for it. When it comes to your spirit team, they are so willing to help release burdens such as extreme doubt, worry, and fear off of your shoulders. That's the kind of things you should be asking help for, not, please give me $10 million, like I want this $10 million, etc. Before you start asking for those kinds of things, ask for things that are going to allow you to even be in a space to receive $10 million, okay? Which requires you to let go of worry, doubt, and fear. Okay? So, when you are honoring yourself and you're integrating the energy by being the change, aligning your choices and actions with your true values, now you have become the embodiment of your core values. No one can tell you otherwise. You don't have to tell anyone otherwise because they feel it. You are it. A lion doesn't have to roar to prove it's a lion, right? So then comes moving up to the next level, because you've passed major tests of commitment, integration, honoring your values, decluttering what is not in alignment with your values, letting go of things that are depleting you and that long ended years ago, but yet are still attached to your energy field because you have not fully addressed it and let it go. So then you can begin to harvest the seeds that you were planting. They begin to abundantly start growing. You're able to access new and higher levels because the lesson has been fully learned. And this is where you understand nothing can stop you from moving into a state of higher consciousness once your subconscious has been properly aligned and cleansed of negative patterns, okay? Now, at this time, divine intervention's at play. Okay, there's a lot of angelic help around us. And this angelic help is like offering us miraculous transformations and solutions if we're open to receiving it. And some people are just receiving divine intervention without a choice because like they need that help and their higher self is overriding, saying, SOS, we need this now. Like, I give permission. We need to move her or him forward. Soul family members, true soul family members are coming in for you at this time. There's people that you are having to let go of at this time, more than likely. People that you are understanding are not so much healthy for you and are not in alignment to the level of growth and expansion you're striving for. They're not ready to go there with you, so you know you must leave them and respect that. That doesn't mean you can't realign in the future. Realign back up again. But for now, you have to choose you and move forward. But you have soul family members that are in alignment with your expansion and growth that are coming in physically for you, okay, to help support you. And this is also correlated with coming into that inner masculine and feminine balance, right? So there's physical unions and reunions between soul family members and counterparts coming in, okay? As I say that, now here's the divine counterpart card. So most of you have been going through everything I just explained. Some of you are beginning this work, and it doesn't matter where you are. All that matters is that you're doing what you're doing to honor yourself. No matter what, you are exactly where you're meant to be in this moment. But there's amazing news arriving from your divine counterpart due to the significant amount of work you have put in towards yourself. Because if you are putting in hella work, balancing yourself, maintaining your integrity, honoring your values, you can guarantee your counterpart is doing the exact same, because you are one and the same. That being said, you never need to be checking up on what they're doing, getting grouchy. Why do I have to be doing all the work? Stay in your own lane and do the work. Or you're not doing the work because you're too busy focusing on them while they're too busy doing the work. That's why they're not focusing on you. So this amazing news is coming in because you've reached this potent threshold of energy that you've been signaling out, okay? This clear signal that you've been sending out with potency, focusing upon, has reached a powerful enough threshold where the underlying constructs of reality are now going to shift and filter into your material world experience. And that goes with the saying, anchoring heaven down on earth, as above, so below. When you are consistent and committed to your vision and what you are fueling and weaving into the webs of creation, if you are committed and consistent with that, it's inevitable it's going to come to be. But you have to trust and have faith in that in the in-between time. You can't give up because you don't see results the next day after starting. That's the definition of insanity, okay? So this is able to happen because obstacles are being removed. And these obstacles that are being removed have to do with you being on the fence about things, being in a state of guessing instead of knowing. When it comes to fueling something and creating, you want to be coming from a state of knowing, believing, and trusting, not second guessing and doubting. Because I don't care what it is. If you know something's going to be there for you, something's coming in for you, you trust it 100%, no second thought. It happens every single time. Every single time. But if you are not sure and you second guess and you doubt about it, you go back and forth, you're guessing, maybe it will, maybe it won't. 99.99% of the time, it's not going to be there manifested. It's not manifested because of the mixed signals. Okay, and so if you're working on removing these kinds of obstacles, you have to understand that your brain is like a radio signal. It's both a receiver and a transmitter. Oftentimes, the thoughts you think that are your own don't even belong to you. You're actually listening, not thinking. And this is where you have the power to choose to tune into a higher station, a higher radio signal, with chatter that is more so of knowing, of faith, of trust, instead of doubt, worry, second guessing, energetically chasing, right? That's how you remove those obstacles and get out of your own way. That's part of reclaiming your power I just spoke about. Okay, and this is a lesson that's being learned at this time. It's ready to be mastered. It's like you understand this already, but you have struggled with it. It's like, when am I ever going to get past this? Okay? Don't be hard on yourself, because you've been trying hard to send out this steady signal. A stable and steady signal of knowing, so that you can embody that energy. There's no more need to doubt your inner voice. Try to prevent your analytical mind from blocking your sight of the miracles being placed before you. The amazing signs and synchronicities are no coincidence. For you to completely be in denial of these repetitive signs and synchronicities alerting you to what you're creating and will soon run into is just plain silly. I mean, those are loud messages when they are consistent all the time. So let it excite you. You won't get your hopes up for no reason. Let it build you up and build that positive momentum. Remember, fate is transformed into destiny according to how you respond. It's all about the way you respond to things, okay? You and only you are in charge and in control of how you respond to any person, situation, experience, etc. And that very response plays a huge factor in the experiences that you draw in, okay? So, once you reach this space of, okay, this lesson is learned, I get it, I understand it, I'm going to trust myself. Now your inner masculine and feminine are in balance. In balance. I didn't say imbalanced. In balance, in harmony together. Working towards the same goal. The emotional desires are also being fueled by your conscious mind towards the same direction. Therefore, it's really easy for your deeds or actions to also be aligned. When those two hook up together, the actions just come as like second nature. So that inner balance is going to bring forth surprise rewards. Shifting the magnetic poles in the right direction, where they're not repelling each other, but they are pulling each other in. You're going to experience that outwardly. And you're going to trust in these surprise rewards that you know and feel are coming, but don't yet see, through the repetitive signs and synchronicities. Understand that's the first form of your desires manifested in the material world, is the signs and synchronicities outside of you that are in perfect vibrational resonance with exactly what you want. That is physical evidence. Remember that. And when you are seeing that constantly, consistently, that means that you are in a magnetic and powerful position at that time to make your dreams come true. And it's a time to remain open to all things and people being sent your way new opportunities being presented to you, because you never know what saying yes to these new experiences is going to bring to fruition for you. It could be the exact doorway you need to walk through to prove to you that these signs and synchronicities were not just fooling you all along. Sometimes we're delaying our manifestations because we're not going where we're being guided to go, doing what we're being guided to do, because we think things should look or be a specific way, detached from outcomes. Be open to all the surprising and unexpected ways that things can unfold for you. That makes it way more fun and exciting regardless. I mean, it really adds like more life to you. It adds more life to your life. It puts you in a space where you are a magnet to miracles, because miracles are more what's the word I want to use? They are more common than you think. It's the simple fact of believing that miracles easily find you, and miracles can easily unfold for you every day, because the truth is, miracles are unfolding in this world every second of the day. Every single second. All around the world, every single second. So this puts you in a magnetic space where miracles are just attracted to you. You're inside the threshold of the very portal that's leading you to that brand new reality you've been trying to construct for yourself, that you've been working hard to align yourself with in all the right ways. And you don't see this portal when you are in the threshold. It's an invisible portal, right? So you have to remember that, because sometimes you're just 1 or 2 steps away from walking through that portal into that new timeline, that new reality. So if you were to think of it as an archway leading you from inside of a building to outside, and you're wanting to go outside the building, if you're standing in the middle of that archway and it's only 1 or 2 more steps to go outside, you're surely not going to take steps backwards to remain inside when you want to go outside, right? So keep that in mind. So when you're in this space of trusting, paying attention to the signs and syncs, choosing your responses, silencing that doubt, choosing to know and not be confused, looking for things you love about life, yourself, others, places, your home, your family, your relationships on a daily basis, thinking loving thoughts about all of your relationships, about whatever it is you're trying to create, you'll receive the reflection of the love you have chosen to gift through your simple thoughts. It'll be reflected right back to you. Thinking in any kind of way is sending out energy. So make sure you are seeing through the eyes of beauty. Move forward with conviction, knowing all is well now and all will always be. And I promise you will see true prosperity. So expect to see beauty, and you will attract your highest good. And when you're granting yourself permission to receive expected and unexpected windfalls of abundance, love, and support, you are also opening yourself up to a magnitude of miracles showing up, okay? to really open up to receiving support beyond anything you could ever imagine yourself ever receiving when it comes to support. Don't limit yourself. Give yourself permission and ask to receive support from your spiritual team way beyond anything you could ever imagine for yourself. Without limitations, you're not even going to start thinking of scenarios because you're going to grant them permission to show up and wow you, okay? And just that energy right there is enough to help you easily sacrifice old timelines in order to access your desired timeline. You easily just let go. When you easily open up to receiving support and help from beyond this dimension, it's easier to let go because you're given permission for them to help you walk away from those types of things. You don't have to do it all alone. You don't have to carry all the weight. You can also ask for help receiving brand new perceptions, major shifts in perception, expansion within your consciousness. Many of you are going to begin receiving increased messages and unlocking light codes, experiencing higher dimensional contact. This is taking place through the subconscious. The subconscious is the medium between your conscious mind and the higher realms, okay? It filters through the subconscious. There's going to be cosmic records, ancient secrets, universal awareness of a multitude of things filtering into your conscious mind. It might come in slowly, but when you get these ideas that seemingly come out of nowhere but are not familiar, but at the same time, it's like, hey, that's pretty clever. Write it down. Keep writing those things down in the same notebook, and eventually you'll have the full message, okay? Sometimes we receive information in small pieces, and that is done so we are not overwhelmed to the point where we completely shut down. Sometimes we can only receive little bits at a time, or it could seriously wreak havoc on our physical vessels. I just realized I'm already an hour in, so I'm gonna wrap this up and not go too much further in. But this is gonna be a time where whatever has been done in the darkness comes to light. This could be things in your shadow you have been unconscious about. This could be things done behind your back. This could be karmic justice coming forth, revealing deception, revealing secrets that need to be brought to light that you were previously not aware of, because you deserve to know it was not from a place of integrity, and it is not serving you in a way that is from a place of integrity or love. It is a harmful energy, or possibly an energy that isn't worthy of being in your space and would only drag you down and keep you stuck. And if that's the case, if that's something that comes to light, it's going to cause sudden endings, but know that those sudden endings are going to lead to sudden new beginnings as well, just as quickly. The sword of truth is coming in and shattering illusions, shattering lies, shattering disloyalty, shattering deception, shattering betrayal, etc. Anything done in the dark that is not of integrity is coming to light. Nobody is safe from this eclipse. Not trying to scare anybody, but let's just hope you've been acting from a space of integrity. But ultimately, whatever it comes to an ending is a blessing in disguise, okay? Because it's the very event and ending that's going to allow you to fully reclaim your power back from wherever it has been lodged outside of you. Whatever person who has been basically carrying around all of your power, holding your power, whatever situation has held your power, taken your power from you, you're finally going to be able to take it back. And this is also going to greatly help you receive your spiritual sight, in a sense where you are truly looking beyond the flesh, not taking things at surface value, trusting the subtle energies and the misalignment between outer appearances and words and energy behind those words and beneath the outer appearance, okay? Because that speaks a lot more loud than how something looks and how something sounds. I promise you. And this is going to allow you to become even more clearer than you ever were before. This is the diamond crystalline consciousness coming into full integration through the exit of anything that was polluting your fields. Your chakra and energy centers are going to be able to be fully opened, purified, and aligned in harmonious union together, working as one system. Therefore, you will be very in tune with yourself, your body, spirit, the higher realms, your truth, your intuition. You will be able to trust yourself more clearly without that interference, without that distortion, without the toxicity that you didn't realize you were allowing to infiltrate your sacred space. Okay? And for a lot of you, friends and loved ones on the other side that have passed over, and your helpers in the higher dimensions are making sure that justice comes forth for whoever deserves it. Nothing can remain hidden anymore against you. So if you have felt like somebody has not been true to you, it will be revealed. Because you are so protected and watched over, you have no idea. And this is going to come to light. Because your people on the other side, in the higher dimensions, in the invisible realms, if you would like to say, are helping to set you free. Because it's part of your soul contract to break free of these types of energies that have probably cycled throughout generations in your family bloodline, your genetic lineage, okay? So this is freedom that returns your spirit to its natural state and allows you to anchor yourself in individual spiritual sovereignty, okay? And joining forces with spirit by your side as your ally is a powerful move to make, because you are a powerful and unstoppable force together. okay? They're helping to penetrate all smoke screens at this time. Any deception, falsehoods, whatever, are going to be shattered. They will not survive this eclipse. So, this is a time for spiritual illumination. But just know it's leading you to liberation. Okay? And whatever truth comes out, follow it. Follow the truth always, wherever it leads you, because it's always going to lead you where you need to be. And for many of you, this is going to be exposing any hate and anger, resentment that's been clouding your vision and burning bridges with people that you should actually have in your life that are good for you, because you have all that baggage in your energy fields and your etheric body connected to the past. Those words you never spoke, that's all stored in the body. That's your personal storage, okay? That's probably pertaining to at least half of you. That's going to be revealed to you for you to see, so that you may finally go through the death and rebirth where the old self dies and a new identity emerges. A higher identity emerges. Your higher self takes over and takes the lead. You start to begin to embody your higher self because you are setting yourself free and you are transmuting those energies and also allowing others to be free, which ultimately puts the end to the struggle against the spirit. It's like many have been fighting their spirit, like their spirit's been telling them, you need to do this and do that when it comes to inner work and taking care of their multidimensional well-being and health in those ways, and it feels like a chore to them because they've been disconnected for so long that they don't even want to bother. They just rather distract themselves. But you can't anymore. You got to surrender to your spirit and to spirit, because that's what's ultimately going to set you free. This is a time of powerful initiation through the spirit. And that must be surrendered to, okay? To completely break free from the past that have been keeping you bound by chains. This could be connected all the way back to childhood. And it's preventing you from integrating your higher divine masculine energy in a healthy way that is utilized to its highest potential for the greater good of yourself and for all. Able to honor your words, follow through on your words, be consistent, be clear, take action on clear intent, which converts possibility into actuality, right? And surrendering to the spirit, disconnecting from groupthink. If you're disconnected from spirit, you're probably disconnected from your emotions. So you're all up in your head and you're all lost in groupthink. You're part of a hive mind. So that's a really foggy place to be, where there are a lot of illusions and distortions that you can get lost in, a lot of rabbit holes you can waste your time in. But if you surrender to the spirit, then you're able to meet your true divine masculine energy that resides within you and it's been calling for you to accept it in. You'll be able to ascend up the ladder above the fog, out of the illusions, adopting the bird's eye view, the keen sight of an owl that's able to see the bigger picture, see from multiple different perspectives, and cut through BS and cut straight to the truth, okay? And that's what you need. That's part of you integrating all of your multidimensional aspects into one embodiment, which needs to be done to help you synchronize all these timelines that are still running from the past, where parts of you are still lingering. You need to resolve those situations with others, relationships, experiences, so you can call your aspects back to you. Set yourself free from those timelines and close those timelines, collapse them, so you no longer are a prisoner to whatever that timeline may be, where your consciousness is lingering, or a piece of your soul is lingering, your dignity is lingering, your worth, etc. Whatever it may be, it'll be different for everyone. That's a powerful move for you to make, because that gets you out of being trapped in a mental prison, because you surrender to the complete fire, the purification of fire of your mind, heart, and soul, which is the resurrection of all that you are, which brings forth your true divinity, the remembrance of your fullness and your full potential, reclaiming your lost soul fragments, so that you may be whole again, and feel whole again, and know that you have always been whole, and you're meant to remain whole. And that you're ready to step into these brand new beginnings, because you have mastered these lessons and you're applying the knowledge, so you have the solid foundation. You've purified the lower energies, which has unknotted you from the tight ropes of karmic contracts. You're now firm with your boundaries, because you honor yourself and your energy, your time, your attention. Whereas before, you didn't have possibly any boundaries, and if you did, they were very little, and you didn't honor them. You would go back on them, which would cause you to run off track, to get turned around, consistently running into doors that were locked. All you ever saw was locked doors. Opportunities weren't available to you because you were not going in the right direction that honored you. You were giving everything to everyone else, but what were you giving to you? Now, you're giving to you strong boundaries, listening to yourself when you know that a relationship, a situation, a job, whatever, is not in your highest best good, and you need to distance yourself from it. You need to end the contract. You finally listen and honor that feeling. Sometimes you don't need to understand why you feel what you feel, but you just need to get the hell out of Dodge, and you don't need to stick around and find out why. This will be surfacing as a test for you. And if you listen to yourself and choose to close those contracts and place boundaries when you know boundaries need to be put into place, you're going to start seeing all those locks on all those closed doors are now no longer locked, and the door is already opening on its own for you to walk through. So an abundance of blessings begins to arrive for you, because you're willing to meet your abundance halfway by treating yourself abundantly, by being abundant, by knowing that you are abundance. Stop sacrificing your needs for others. Empathy without boundaries is destruction. Stand up and show up for yourself. Look beyond the flesh and trust what you feel. I don't care what you see, what you hear. You trust what you feel. Again, here we are. Set better boundaries with others. You're taking on, that's that whole guessing and not knowing, the back and forth, the doubt. You're taking on thoughts that aren't yours from those that you're surrounding yourself with. They're keeping you on a lower vibrational frequency. Those you surround yourself with matter. You become who you're surrounded by. So this is your chance to finally set yourself free from the opinions and expectations of others. Stop taking them on as your own. It's time to ignore the naysayers, especially the naysayers that only are naysayers in their thoughts, but you pick up on those thoughts and take them on as your own. No, sir, or no, ma'am. Pull your energy and attention back towards you. Every day, make it a habit to call all of your energy, all of your consciousness back to you from every timeline, dimension, reality, etc., cleansed and purified, back to you, into your center in your now moment.